This is the Adraga, a self-proclaimed field watch from Portuguese-based microbrand Borealis. Is this a watch you should consider? I'll share with you my hands-on review of this watch and explain why it might look familiar to you on this episode of Adventures with Time. Borealis is a microbrand watchmaker that has been around for about a decade. During that time, Borealis has 4 watches which are designed in Portugal and assembled in Hong Kong. 2 divers collections, the Neptuno and the Cassis, the Adrago, which is a field watch, and a pilot watch called the Icarus. I have here with me the Adraga. This is the first watch from Borealis that I've had in hand for review, so let's see what I think about it. But first, does this watch look familiar? You don't recognize this design? Perhaps if I showed you the plain black dial model. Ah, now you see it. It's styled after the Rolex Explorer. Same Mercedes hour hand, same lollipop second hand, same applied indices, same case shape and bezel. So can we call this a homage watch? Nevertheless, Borealis has extended this design through 11 models. There are 3 dial patterns: plain, snowflake, or the flag pattern. I must say that the flag pattern is most distinctive of the 3. They offer 2 handsets, either Mercedes or Commando hands, and several dial colors. Not all permutations of these 3 design options are available. What I have is the reference number Adraga 2AG, which is the white flag pattern dial with Commando hands. First, let's get the specs out of the way. A 39.5mm stainless steel case that is 12mm thick, with a lug-to-lug of 47.5mm. Nice 20mm lug width with drilled lugs. Double dome sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the underside. Now, some have claimed that this is more of a box crystal, but looking at the engineering drawings from their website, we can see that the crystal is slightly domed. A 6.8mm wide screw-down sign crown and screw-down case back, giving this watch 300 meters of water resistance. You get a Jubilee bracelet and Miyota's 90S5 movement, which is part of their premium automatic line of movements. There is no date complication in this movement, so you don't have the phantom date quick adjust position. The unique design element of this movement is that it has an open heart on the dial around the 5 o'clock position. However, the Adraga dial doesn't make use of this attribute. It has a stated accuracy of -10 to +30 seconds a day, 42 hours of power reserve that runs at 28,800 beats per hour. Winding both manual and automatic is unidirectional. So they say you may hear a little rotor noise while on the wrist. However, I haven't noticed that. Reported replacement costs for this movement are about $110 US. Now, I was going to mention their confusing pricing methodology. However, they seem to have changed it. Borealis had a payment structure where you pay 50% upfront and the rest when the watch is ready to ship. That wasn't very clear on the order page for the watch. When I first looked at their website, it appeared to me that the watch was only $225. Digging a bit more, I discovered that was just a deposit amount. Now I see that they list the full price on their order pages. I'm glad they cleared that up. And to be clear, the current purchase price for the Adraga is now $495 US, so it appears to have gone through several price increases since initially launched. No matter, all models are currently sold out. Borealis seems to be known as a microbrand that produces high-quality watches at reasonable prices, although reasonability is in the eye of the beholder. So let's behold the Borealis Adraga white flag with Commando hands. The name Adraga comes from the Praia da Adraga, which is a North Atlantic beach in Portugal. The Adraga can have different personalities depending on the specific watch model one selects. The black dial with no surface pattern, the model I use to compare to the Rolex Explorer, does present itself as a no-nonsense field watch. Nothing about it except for the reflective polished surfaces to draw attention. Contrast that to the salmon dial and you have a watch that belongs on the beach or at the tiki bar at sunset. A similar vibe I get from my yellow dial Islander diver. This white flag pattern dial model has yet a slightly different persona. something of an everyday wear watch that can be worn with shorts or in dress occasions. So although this watch clearly takes its design cues from the Rolex Explorer, one can select a model that departs from that design through several aspects. However, you'll always have those characteristic hour indices with the Arabic numerals at 3, 6, and 9, triangle at 12, and rectangles everywhere else. No matter which model you select, I believe you are getting a good-looking watch. I see no issues with the finish or alignment. I'm impressed with the embossing of the flag pattern, where from a distance you see a textured dial, but moving in close you see the intricacies of the pattern. And despite the dimensionality of the pattern, the printing is clear and sharp. Nicely done. I like the off-white filling of the hour indices, sort of like the radium paint color of yesteryear. It helps to offset those markers from the white dial. That comes from the BGW9 lume used on the hands and indices, which for you lume junkies seems to have a fairly good application, providing that nice light blue glow. You will have to contend with the polished bezel and case sides. These will be scratch and fingerprint magnets, but it's exactly those polished finishes which gives the reflective sparkle to this watch. That is carried through the Jubilee bracelet, which has screwed links, basic fold-over clasp with sufficient micro-adjustment positions. Although one could pair this watch with a leather strap or NATO, I prefer it on the bracelet. I think it gives the watch more wrist presence, but to each their own. The case back is nothing to write home about, an etched design of a mermaid with some of the watch information around the edge. I did find the crown to be a bit small. The gear edging is only 2 millimeters deep, so you don't get a great grip on it. No problem, given the few times one will actually need to use the crown. All in all, this is a very nice watch, regardless of whether you're looking for an Explorer homage or something different. I'm not looking for that homage, and would probably go for the salmon flag pattern dial. I think that would be a fun watch to wear. What do you say? Do you have any experience to share about the Adrago or any of the Borealis watches? Or that Miyota 90 S5 movement? Let us know. Now, if you're really into watches, you need to see this video that covers the history of watch advancements. If you're more interested in luxury watches, then I suggest this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.